Hello, everyone of the sign of Gemini. This is Zaida Velgara of Becoming I Am here with your astrology of December 2025. I hope you enjoy it. As always, I'm going to start off with giving you some astrology, and with the astrology, we'll be using some oracle to see how it's going to be affecting you specifically of the sign of Gemini. And then after that, we're going to be using the tarot. Hope you enjoy it. So starting off, we're going to be looking at the 4th. The 4th, and there is a full moon in the sign of Gemini. So, in your sign, which means that you might be a little bit stronger when it comes to your communication. Also, because it's strongly influenced by your specific sign, your dream state will be stronger, your clarity will be stronger. I would use this energy for this new moon and full moon to kind of ask your questions to universe. You can do it through writing. And that's journaling and stuff and waiting until the answers come through or asking it before you go to sleep. This will be influencing you from the 1st today all the way to about the 8th. So keep that in mind. I hope that helps you and you can use that for your benefit. Let's see how this is going to be affecting you, Gemini. This is interesting. So we got the card number 32 that says primal. There is no other way around but through the very truth that lives within you. Okay, so this makes me laugh because it reminds me of that whole Jesus thing, that the only way to the cross is through the cross, right? You have to go through the experience. I feel like the primal energy is turning on because it's telling you that your animalistic instincts are turning on, your survival instincts, your like mother bear energy is waking up. That force inside of you, it doesn't matter if it's masculine or feminine and you're going to be using, but that is awakening because there is a conflict that's going to be coming up with you these first couple of weeks of December, and you're going to have to use those primal instincts of yourself of survival and of defending to be able to go through this process. So this is very interesting that you got that. The second card that I'm going to be looking at is December 15th. December 15th, Neptune goes direct in Pisces. Now that means that Pisces is direct in Neptune and in Saturn, which makes us clear-minded, like when before we might have been stuck in like what people have done to us, negative thought processes, etc. Now you're allowing yourself to have that imagination, to think outside the box, and to be forceful in that movement forward that you know that you want to have. So let's see how that's going to be affecting you. Oh, coming of spring, number 15. I like this energy because it's talking about like some kind of rebirth happening inside of you, even if you know it or not. And right here it says, beneath my feet stir the waking, stirring surge of warmth that tells of life ready to be rebirthed. And I feel like something is coming back. And this is interesting because we're seeing the energy of primal. So, like a primal instinct, something that was essentially you, and you lost it probably by religion, the people that you were around, the community that you were in, the structures that you were, I want to say, indoctrinated in, that created a box that you were stuck in. And it kind of like, I want to say, caged the lion inside of you. And I feel something that is awakening as a stir, like this instigation these first couple of weeks of December are like a stirring of the lion that has been dormant inside of you. And I do feel like it's going to be really active, like um, around spring. So I'm not seeing it really being active until the springtime, so next year. And that makes sense because Jupiter goes direct around March. So we're in this little bubble, and when we get out of it is when the actual comes out. But the things that we do right now, like creating those boundaries, setting that parameter, putting yourself in that, you're kind of like setting your game up for when you start pushing forward, everything starts playing out how you were thinking. This is plan period, but this is an awakening of something that has been dormant inside of you for way too long, Gemini. All right. The third thing that's coming out is the new moon in Sagittarius. For me, I'm feeling like this moon has something to do with like a new start, a new beginning, like a new cycle. It feels like the beginning of a fool's journey, which makes a lot of sense for me because next year is year number 1. And that means that we're having a commencement of a 9-year cycle. 9-year cycle being like 9 years to you becoming that new version of yourself that you've planted the seeds of to make it happen. And I feel like this 20th has something really big to do with it. Also, this day, I believe the Sagittarius also lines up with Lilith. So Lilith goes in Sagittarius. So we have the new moon and Lilith in Sagittarius. Lilith is the energy of rebellion, is the energy of advocating for yourself and being free within yourself. So this is really interesting energy. Oh, for you, we have mischief, which makes a lot of sense with this awakening of the primal energy. I feel like you've been caged up and bottled up for so long that when the real version of you starts coming out, it starts becoming like a little mischievous. It wants to do everything you never allowed it to do before, right? And this says, keep your eyelids open and sight sharp as nails, for there is something traveling behind your trails. So this is talking about somebody planning something behind your back. The second thing is seduction. Here are the roaring flames with the masterful trance that calls upon heaving chest. It says, give in to its allure, gripping if you please, but heed my warning of the claws that draw blood without mercy. I'm not going to really like show you this too close because the ladies are naked and I don't need this video to be flagged. But that's interesting because I feel like they're telling you that you can go towards this mischief energy, but don't go too far. And there might be some energy around you that might be alluring you to do something that you also have to know how to like create those limitations until you're comfortable to move forward. Then we have the owl. Number 27 says, behold sight, O ancient one, for there is magic in the um, darkest of places, in if one dares to open your eyes. And then the fourth one that came out is candle magic. Speak your um speak your breath into its velvet, recite along its spine all that you desire, all that you wish to unravel. This is kind of weird, this one. I'm going to tell you like my number one impression of these 4 cards. I usually don't take so many, but mind you, um, there's something waking up inside of you. And it's strong and it might be a little dark compared to how you've been expressing yourself up to now. Like I feel like you've been very I want to say motherly, very good, very docile, very like by the book energy. And inside of you, this like darkness is starting to awaken. It's like the side of yourself that you didn't allow the world to see. And I feel like it's a whisper of your soul, something that's coming from like your back. And like the primal energy still comes through here, where when a cat like senses something and it arches its spine and all the hairs come up. I'm feeling that energy for some strange reason right now. I'm feeling like a cold chill behind my back. And it's like this awakening of your inner lion. A part of you is going to go, oh yeah, this feels good. And then the other part of you is going to be mindful so that you don't exceed those boundaries that you have. Like you as a human being, you have your boundaries yourself, things that you will not cross, limits that you will not get up to. Baby steps are the best way to go when you start waking up your primal instincts, let me tell you, because and then you don't feel regret afterwards and you don't feel guilt afterwards. You do things in a level that is open for you. A lot of wisdom is going to come towards you, and it's your job to gauge it and see how you can adapt that wisdom to form into your life in a way that feels comfortable. Sometimes like we might want to run a marathon, but we can barely walk to the end of the block. So like maybe a marathon would not be a good idea, but the idea of the marathon could be there. And when you feel ready enough, maybe you might get there in the future, right? So I feel baby steps are important here. Try not to exceed what feels comfortable to you, but a lot of growth and a lot of um awakenings are happening to you. Just baby step it and you'll see how good it'll feel as it starts progressing. The last thing that we're going to be looking at is the December 21st, where Capricorn season starts. This is when the sun enters the sign of Capricorn. For some reason, this one feels really good to me because there are 4 squares on it. 4 squares usually feels like 4 walls that are on it. The first one is this wall, this primal instinct that is awakening inside of you, where the beast is awakening and you feel like I am woman, hear me roar, roar. Not saying that you're a woman, but just saying. And so that's awakening. So that's your first wall. And then there's 3 other walls, okay? And the 3 other walls are the ones that are your mind. So the ideas that you have that you're going to have to restructure and recreate so that it can form into this reality that you want. Your emotions, like these bad feelings where you're guilty for something, where you feel regret, where there's shame, that you're going to have to adjust so that you can move into this new energy that you want. And your physical actions, like the routines that you do, the habits that you form that create that person. Now, there is a 9-year cycle to this, right? Because we're starting the year of one, and there's always a 9-year cycle that we go through. In this 9-year cycle, you will have 3 years for each one of those aspects of yourself. Not saying that everything will be done only for your body for 3 years, but they'll move around. But it's like if every single facet of you is slowly evolving, you will experience chaos moments, you will experience disruptions, but it's because there's new versions of you that want to form, and these disruptions are the old you, right? And sometimes that means hurt feelings, and sometimes that means disappointment, but all of it is evolving you to be the person that you're supposed to be. Why am I telling you this? Because there's a version of you you're letting die, and there's a version you're creating. So I want to see with me archetype deck what version you're letting die, and then which one you're creating. So the one you're letting die is Destroyer. Explosiveness. So this means that you're a person, you take it, you take it, you take it, you take it, you swallow it down, you swallow it down, you swallow it down, and then all of a sudden you just explode in the worst way possible, and you cry and you scream and you lose your shit, and then nobody listens to you because you're a volcano, you're just exploding. And people are like, just wait until she passes it, she'll go back to normal. She'll go back to normal. I'm saying a female. I don't know why I'm feeling female, but this, she or he will go back to normal. They're saying that because they're used to this way that you are, like you take it, you take it, you take it, you explode. That's what they're used to, and that's what you're destroying, your destroyer energy. On the bottom here, the shadow aspect says intoxication with destructive powers destroys others' dreams or potentials. And what I'm feeling is not so much that you destroy others' dreams and potentials. I feel like your dreams and your potentials get destroyed because you keep submitting yourself to another person, and yes, what you want, and yes, what you want, even though it doesn't feel comfortable for you, and then you explode, and then then you have to backpedal and fix things. That's what's being changed. I think one of the way that people take control over us is through our emotions. Either we get super angry and we explode and we look like the bad guy, and we have to say I'm sorry even though we have been violated, or we've been hurt, or we've been mistreated. Another way is through love, and this is like false love that people give you that makes us give so much extra, or like stuff that we love that we give our power to. And then the third thing is sadness. Either somebody is the victim that we would like to save, or we're the victim that we give away our power. So this feels like the anger one. Okay, so if people manipulating us and manipulating the narrative by the anger explosions that erupt around us. And now what is being activated inside you? What is being created? Ooh. Ugh, why do we get 3? I don't want 3. Okay, they said put it back. Good, because I'm like 3 is too many. I just want 1 because See, then that's too many, and then it becomes too vague. I want something more specific. So just one. There you go. That's good. That's good. We have the gambler. I like the gambler because it says willingness to follow your intuition even when others doubt you. So this is you advocating for yourself. And even though this sounds like the fool's journey, trying something new, maybe people are going to say, this is not you. Why are you doing this? Blah, blah, blah. How do they know what is not you if you've never shown them who you really are? Because you've always catered your emotions and your actions towards another person, right? Don't let others tell you and put you in a box. This is the person you are. This is how you should be, blah, blah, blah. No, you are somebody different because you never allowed yourself to be different because you were what everybody else wanted. And so now this is your turn to enter that fool's journey. And yes, that means listening to your intuition. And yes, that might be making a few mistakes and having to backpedal later and say, I'm sorry. But at this moment, it's like, I at least want to try. Try and fail, but at least try. Okay. And then I want to see where this is going to be affecting you. I feel like career for some strange reason, but where is this going to be affecting you? Go the distance. Look, it's so funny because we were talking about entering a marathon, a running marathon. Um, some of you might be runners. So that might be something that this new journey that you're going to go into will help you evolve into that runner that you are. For others of you, it can be reaching that goal that you have for your life. Okay. It might be happiness. It might be a weight loss goal. It might be a career goal, but it feels like a goal that you want to accomplish. So it feels very much like a competition for yourself, with yourself, not with another person, but with yourself, a final end goal that you have for yourself. So each one of you guys would know what that's all about. Now, finally, I'm going to pull some tarot to get any additional information that they would like to give you at this precise moment. Ooh, Mother of Wands. This is a rattlesnake protecting her eggs. I'm getting a message from that. I'm feeling like there is something that you want to bring into your existence. This can be an idea for your future. Like, again, this is like the goal thing, okay? They're telling me for you to keep it quiet, for you to continue to be strong and assertive in these boundaries that you're creating as to what it is that you want to create. But don't tell nobody you have that or that you're trying to create that. It's like a you and yourself goal, like a quiet goal. Um, don't tell anybody what you're kind of doing. Don't, it's kind of like this is a secret that you're creating for yourself for this end goal. It feels very secretive. Yes, and then we have the Mother of Pentacles in reverse. And that for me is that okay, Mother of Pentacles is the same as the Queen of Pentacles. Queen of Pentacles usually represents the matriarch energy. So the mother energy of your unit, your home unit, your work unit, every unit has that mother hen energy, but it's in reverse. And when it's in reverse, it's a person that might be overly jealous of you. It's a mother figure, so it can be a friend, a coworker, a mother, a cousin, an aunt, blah blah blah. But this is like a motherly figure that protects and takes care of the less fortunate, let's say. But it's in reverse. So this is one that they pretend they're happy for you, but they're actually very jelly about where you're going, why you're doing something, how come they didn't get the opportunity, etc., etc. That's that energy. So the reason you're keeping it quiet is because you feel unsafe from some kind of motherly energy that's around you. Okay? Ace of Cups. I think you're right in that feeling because the Ace of Cups is having very strong intuition about a situation, but it's also something that hurt your feelings. Like the reason you feel that you need to protect what you're trying to create from this motherly energy is because this motherly energy has a way of hurting your feelings, making you cry, making you overly emotional. My phone just agreed with me. The Seven of Pentacles is talking about that this is a slow process. Don't try to go too fast. Like I said, it's a 9-year process because there's a 9-year cycle that you're starting. It's one step at a time, baby steps and consistent baby steps that you do one at a time make a hell of a lot of difference. Okay. It feels like, building blocks, one cube at a time. And as this structure starts being created, then you create that future for yourself. Ace of Swords in reverse and the Five of Wands in reverse. I want you to realize that the lack of arguments and the lack of fights from this mother figure is a lie. Okay? They're quiet storming. Look up what quiet storming is. This is a person that they are festering their anger. It's brewing underneath. They are very much the destroyer. So when we went back to the destroyer in that energy of what you're letting go of, this can be this female energy that we're talking about. Something that is like an active volcano. It's always brewing, and then it explodes. And then everybody has to deal with the chaos of when they explode. And I thought that was you, but now that I'm looking at this, it might just be another influence. And it feels like a maternal influence, a female influence that is that volcano energy that you're letting go of. We have the Nine of Cups followed by the Judgment. And here it's saying that if you want what you want, you need to judge situations correctly. Then we have the Father of Pentacles with the Six of this the Six of Pentacles. That also means that you're starting with the maternal energy, and then the paternal energy might be the next step to go to, because I'm seeing a tower to a connection there so that you can have balance. I mean, I'm getting cold chills, you guys. My whole right arm just got cold chills. So if you got cold chills when I said that, definitely this is a confirmation for you. But I feel like this is just the beginning. And you're gonna be addressing the issue with the female energies in your life. Keep in mind that we're like onions. We have layers, like Shrek said, right? And what that means is that, when you confront, let's say the issue is like a child wound regarding your mother, right? Let's just say it that way. And if it's regarding your mother, then you'll see it in your partner. You'll see it in your children. You'll see, if you have children, you'll see it in your neighbors. You'll see it in your coworkers. You'll see it in your friends. That same, I want to say, like Achilles heel, right? That same problem. And then as you start addressing it, you address it from the outside layer of your onion. So like, you know, coworkers, until you come back to the center, to what really is the problem. And it's usually you. It's usually a wound that you have, right? So it's like having to mother yourself or having to heal yourself. And I feel like whoever I'm talking to with this energy, there is like a fundamental crack that's fixing from the outside in. And then when that heals, then you're going to be a different person by the end of this. I hope that makes sense.